Where them fans at? Where them fans at? Whoa, it's Sunday morning. So that song is always on people's minds and on my mind as well. I know there are people saying, I'm tired of hearing the Boots on the Ground song. I enjoy it. I like it. I haven't learned to dance and I'm not that interested in learning it, but if I happen to pick up a step or two on it, I will. I think I like it mainly because there's a black man who put a song out there, and I think it was another man, a person who put the dance together, but it's the song itself. It's very nice juke junk groove. If I'm in the spot and they're playing, me and the young ladies dancing, I don't want to do the dance. I'd rather dance, one-on-one on the song. And I think that's an option, right? Do you have to do the line dance to it when it come on? I always wonder that. But I still get my little side to side whenever I hear the song. I like it. And I want to play as long as he's able to make some money off of it. And so, because y'all didn't, for those of you who are saying, I'm tired of hearing that song. Well, y'all weren't tired of hearing, this is Texas, woo! Going round and round and round. Y'all get tired of hearing that shit, did you? So just hush. Let, as they say, let him cook. And let him get that cash. What's up? It's your man Rico, the opinionist. I'm up this morning. Very nice. Yeah, y'all know how I love the sun. But not when it's 100 degrees, but when it's barely peaking. And I was awake at probably like 6:30 or 7, but I decided to, come on out there. What's this, 8:35? I'm sure a lot of you are on your way to church. But let me get to it. A couple of weeks ago, I've been meaning to make this particular video for the longest. I had in my mind that I was going to go a second time to see the movie Sinners. I did. I went to see the movie Sinners. I enjoyed it because so many people before I'd gone to see it, they were giving such great rave reviews and saying, man, I went to see it for a third time, a fourth time, a fifth time. I've never been a movie fanatic like that. I can see a movie one time. I guess I really pay attention. And also I learned when you go by yourself, because you really can hear the movie and you go on particular days. When I'm interested in seeing a movie for the first time, those afternoon matinees come in handy because barely anybody in there. Or those Tuesdays where like movies on like $6. I'm just saying, because when the movie is hot, it's barely get tickets, so you have to go when people are least likely to be there, and that's what I did because I really wanted to see the movie. I wanted to hear the movie. And those afternoon or on those off weekend days, like a Tuesday or Wednesday, even later in the evening at a 9 o'clock showing, there's barely anybody in there because when you really want to see the movie, you want to hear it. So that's what I did, and I got to hear it and I got to see it. And what should I start? I appreciated it. Let me just say this off top. Michael B. Jordan is an awesome actor. He gets better with every movie. So he go from good, and he's damn near great now, because I don't know when he's ever been just okay. Michael B. Jordan is a phenomenal actor. I really enjoy him in movies. And not that we need validation, because we are our own approval. We are our own hype men and women in our community. But should, let's say, this Oscar thing come up and they start talking, that movie should get at least 7 nominations for all types. Movie, cinematography, wardrobe, of course, acting. I think Michael B. Jordan he definitely deserves best actor nod. Ryan Coogler, best direction. Ryan Coogler gets better. Now, he actually gets better with each project. Now, I'm going to be honest. I was not a huge fan of Black Panther. And a lot of you won't be honest and say that you weren't fans. I know what I saw. Black Panther. I always say that I think Black Panther was too big of a movie for him to write and direct. I think that he should have gotten some help from the guys who write and who direct and produce James Bond movies, and a couple of the folks who do the Avengers movies. And I say that because for me, the Black Panther had a lot of meanings in it, but there's a lot of twisted meanings in it as well, especially what he did with Michael B. Jordan's character. All of the cool things that you would expect a Black Panther to say, they put it in the villain's mouth, and that's to soften the blow. He said, I'd rather die in the ocean with my people than live as be alive as a slave or whatever. Stuff like that. They put almost like the Marcus Garvey and Nat Turner words and the Michael B. Jordan's character. I can't even think his name right now. And number two, I didn't like the way his sister was allowed to make fun of him and crack jokes. I didn't care for that. I didn't think there were enough fight scenes. I didn't like that. Now when Black Panther was in the Avengers movie, Black Panther was kicking ass. And I didn't like that, all this pushing, all this just so direct in your face, yielding to the chicks in the movie. I didn't like that. If he's the leader, if he's the top dog, he's supposed to be the masculine leader. Why was all this deference to the women going on? And it's interesting at the end of that movie, all this fighting going on, but the big giant ass, they were rhinoceros or whatever, they stopped and paused and bowed at the bald head. I don't like none of that shit. It's not realistic. But I didn't. And that's all. And what's the third one? How you gonna get your ass whooped after you've drunk your potion that you drank previously to beat everybody, and you drank your potion and still get your ass chunked over the waterfall? I don't like this. Because one thing about those James Bond movies, and those movies where white men are the heroes or the action stars, they don't allow women to make fun of them and halfway kick their ass, and they don't do that. And I'm like, how come white men in their movies are allowed to have all the masculinity in the world? They don't defer to women. Women bow down. Now, women may try to get a roundhouse or may try to shoot a gun, but James Bond movie, he just grab her wrist, snatch the gun out of hand, and at the end of the movie, he got her legs in there knocking her socks off. And then when he paired the brother with Lupita Nyong'o, there was no sexual. It was just off. And I'm saying this because other black folks won't be honest about it. And I know it's okay, rest in peace Chadwick Boseman, but I don't think he should have played. He was too little. It should have been Michael B. Jordan should have been Black Panther. They could have got somebody else to be like the villain, whatever. For me, if you're gonna put a black superhero up there, he need to be Blade-like. The first Blade, second Blade. Now, one thing about Wesley Snipes, he understood the assignment. If he gonna be the hero, he gonna be the hero. Goddammit, because black boys look up to these male heroes. And what I like about the actor Michael J. White, I guess he was considered too old to play Black Panther. But if Michael J. White had played that role, you would have seen none of that nonsense. You would have had no Suri making fun of him. Now he's the genius, the leader of all this, of Wakanda. And I don't think an actress would have said, no, I don't want to say these lines to Michael J. White. Michael J. White in real life would roundhouse somebody's ass. And rest in peace Chadwick Boseman, but I think he was too little. He wasn't, manly, brawny enough to be Black Panther. We know Black Panthers are usually sleek and whatever, but he wasn't. That's all. And then for them to damn near end the series because he died as an actor was just weird. Superman, there's been a man, how many white men that played Superman? About 50 of them. You know how many white men that played Batman? About 50 of them. So how come we had to stop at one black dude playing Black Panther? Whew. telling y'all, the great setup is something else. And they could have, they didn't have to have the funeral and none of that. They could have just kept it moving. I think the last time they had a funeral, what was that, in that Batman versus Superman? I think Superman had a funeral, but they brought him right on back and all this, and another character, whatever. It's just weird how they do black folks. And we just seem to follow, we're not paying attention. So that's my only critique of Ryan Coogler. But this movie, for me, yeah, and the end on that whole Black Panther thing, I need black folks to be honest. Because, when you leave a movie, there's a lot of this excitement chatter. Man, oh, wow, you remember this? Man, you see that part? I'm telling you, I went to a movie theater when I went to see Black Panther, when it was out. The whole theater, like somebody rented it out. It was packed but there was not one empty seat, packed, about 200-300 people in there. And I'm telling y'all the truth on this Sunday morning. When all these black people filed out of that movie, it was silence. And I stuck around because I took a picture with the Black Panther poster and everything. I posted it on my Facebook page and stuff. It was really silent. I didn't hear people saying, what about this part here? Man, when he did this, do you see that part right there? They were not discussing. It's almost like, how when somebody knows something the truth, but they're too ornery and too stubborn to admit it? That's how a lot of black people look. But they had to go with the hype. I guess they were trying to show white folks, yeah, we went to see it. We gonna make it number one. I don't know. So I guess, but I don't play that game. If it wasn't that great, it wasn't that great. And ask me if I went to see Wakanda Forever. Hell no. I didn't waste my time. I haven't even watched that on a streaming. I knew there was gonna be some trash. Cause I knew he's gonna double down then on the nonsense. And then of course they had to add the black and brown thing with Neymar and all. So I'm finna watch this shit. And then how that little 98-pound chick gonna be the Black Panther? It's just it was a wash. It made a lot of money, but the enthusiasm wasn't there. So, but anyway, Ryan Coogler, you must have heard took some notes. And by the way, I'm hearing that there's supposed to be Black Panther reimagined. And Ryan, if you're set to direct it, brother, write it as a man. Write the Black Panther movie as a man, please. Stop trying to cater into the feminist left. Stop to the feminist agenda. Stop catering to the LGBT agenda. Just write the damn movie. Consult with some of them brothers, those men that write they have written the James Bond movies. No, make Black Panther a man, a kick-ass man. Would you, bruh? Because I think women would prefer they'd like to see with men kicking ass. Don't make him that little softy cat like you did in the first one. And don't make him, and I don't know about the comic books, maybe the comic book nerds will let me know. Did he have to drink a potion in the, did he have to drink a potion in the comic books in order to get his strength? Man, I hope not. So, Ryan Coogler, if you hear me, bro, don't let him drink a potion. Just let him be a man and kick ass. I know Blade did, but when Blade drank, got his little serum as a vampire, but Blade kicked ass for at least 20 up until he got to walk in the daytime too. The first Blade, but Wesley Snipes explained to us that the third Blade, they took it over like they did the Wayans family's white chicks, and it wasn't the same. But Blade 1, I think 2, yeah, those are the ones. The third one, they could have kept that trash. But anyway, back to my review of the movie Sinners. Thank y'all for allowing me to veer off there. I knew when I mentioned Ryan Coogler, I was gonna go there because I like Ryan Coogler. Did y'all know I'd never heard his speaking voice until he was doing the tour for this movie Sinners? He was going around on different talk shows in the Breakfast Club specifically, and I heard him speak. I like, wow, damn. You're like, yeah, Shan, we tried to make this movie, cuz. I was waiting on to say cuz. I like, damn, he's really from LA. Your share, well, this movie, it was a lot of different aspects and levers in your share of this movie. And I said, well, damn, he's really a homeboy, straight out of LA. I'm assuming he's from Oakland. I'm assuming, y'all let me know, y'all will correct me. But and so I listened and So shout out to Ryan Coogler. He should get a best director, best cinematography, hell, best picture if you want to. I won't be against any nomination that they give, but best actor, best cinematography, best costume design. The acting was awesome. You know, they did a good job, and I paid attention to the messages in the movie. I watch movies for the messages, especially when we're in the movies, because they'll try to pull a fast one on us. And I like the writing. So much about the movie that I appreciated. I appreciated, man, the scene where the young brother was playing in the juke joint. And that was so awesome. You know, he told a story of how damn near all music derives from blues and gospel, and the way everybody just kind of, when the young brother was singing, playing his guitar, and all of the varying music genres just appeared. You know, just appeared from you know, the African to hell, he even had some dudes crip walking in the damn thing. I just could have sworn I saw some crip walking going on. From hip hop to rap to soul to rock to had some Native Americans, I think, walking through there. And it showed the Asian, everybody. I like the way he said everybody was influenced by us, foundational Black Americans. The music. And that was so awesome. And they may hate on it because of what he did in that movie. That piece right there. And he showed, you know, no, just us and a light. And but you know, something that's very interesting. Let me go back to the whole Oscar nominations. I'm afraid that the movie's gonna be treated like they did the movie Django, which I wasn't a huge fan of. And it's another movie. Isn't it interesting? Now, because you had this mulatto or white girl, and I guess in real life she's multiracial, whatever, but you know, a lot of statements came out of that movie. And the one statement that came out, that she was gifted to deliver. When she confronted him at the train station, you know, so you said you love me. I told you it wasn't like that, Mary. What you doing around here, Mary? You know, back in those days, what you doing slipping around with a white woman? Well, I guess you must have changed your mind because you stuck your tongue in my coos and effed me so hard. Of course, the movie theater went nuts, went crazy when they heard that shit. And he now look now, Mary. I kind of caught him off guard because she talking trash. Then she was giving another line. So you can around here, you can rob banks and steal shit, but you can't steal this punani they ate it up on social media. But it'd be interesting that the only Oscar winner, let's say if they gave her like 8 nominations for various things, but I just have a feeling they're going to treat this movie the way they do when there's a white savior. Just like in Black Panther, there was a kind of a white character that they get to lift out. When they don't like, they're not going to award the movie. They're going to treat it like The Color Purple, giving 11 nominations, but they didn't win none for Color Purple, 80 and 85, none. But none of the performances, 11 nominations. Go look it up. Oprah, Whoopi, Danny Glover, all of them, Hopper, nobody. 11 nominations they got, didn't win one. And so I'll be shocked if the only person that not only get nominated but actually wins is the white girl in the movie. This is how they do it. Django, all that acting going on in there. Here, not even Samuel Jackson got one because he did a superb job as Steven. Hell, they ain't mess with Mario DiCaprio in that movie. That's like crazy. But the white guy that walked around with Jamie Foxx, he got Best Supporting Actor. He's the only one to get an Oscar from that movie, an actor. I say, all them black folks, and so they gave it to the one white person. So all the black folks and sinners, I bet you that white girl get a Best Supporting Actress and she wins. It's just how it is. But you know, racism and white supremacy, if you understand its agenda, its purpose, if you don't understand its agenda, its purpose, everything you see will only confuse you. Shout out to Dr. Claude Anderson. But anyway, I appreciated that, and I appreciate a lot of lines that were said, a lot of history is told when he said, you know, Chicago ain't nothing but Mississippi with tall buildings. Meaning, wherever you go, as a black man in this country, it's still the South. Still pretty much the same. And I know a lot of folks in New York swear they live in La La Land, where you got a black man pull out a wallet and get 32 times, get shot 32 times. But for some reason, they don't ever remember that. In New York on the East Coast. In the West Coast, they're in L.A., man, y'all, people in L.A. swear for cheese and crackers that black folks in the South are really being dogged out or whatever, and they being literally wiped out of L.A. Ain't none of them but whites and Hispanics and Asians. I think they probably got 20 blacks now in L.A. Because they passing laws and everything, just pushing them on out. Rest of y'all might as well come on down to Texas or Georgia, Tennessee. Y'all might as well, Alabama, y'all might as well come on out there. LA doesn't like black people. So they only want Asians, whites, and Hispanics there. But anywho, I'm off course. But something else that stuck out the movie, by the way, the movie was awesome. But something else that stuck out, I said, wow, they are really pushing oral sex in this movie. She started off with, stuck my tongue, your tongue in my coos. And then as they were riding, the young brother who's the son of a pastor, he was riding in the truck, and I think it was Smoke. What's wrong with Stack? Whichever one it was, both of them shot pistols, but the gold tooth one. Did they both have gold teeth? I don't know. He was like, yeah, man, when you get her, you got to, you don't shove it in there. You got to kind of, I'm like, wow. And then another scene they talked about oral sex is when that gorgeous, that I'll have to say, the gorgeous married woman, that good chocolate, that good dark skin. The one he saw, he hollered at the train station, the young brother with the guitar. And they said, be careful now, I'm a married woman. Well, somehow at the club, when he got through singing that song, her ring disappeared and her marriage vows disappeared because in that back room, oh, Lord have mercy, he wouldn't first thing he did was put his head under her dress. He said, wait a minute, at least she tried to tell him, and I appreciated that. Wait a minute, let me go and rinse off, let me go and clean myself because I walked over here. He said, no, I just want to taste you. Ew, ew, ew. So they're promoting it all through now. I'm like, what's with this heavy promotion of oral sex? I'm like, y'all remember that video of that little girl's in that doctor's office? She's probably like 5 years old. And she told the doctor, and she let her taste something. She's like, that's nasty. Put me down. That's what I was like, that's nasty. Put me down. No, y'all have not put my face in that place. I don't think it's necessary. But, that's a whole nother topic. And so now they're promoting eating dirty cooch. Oh, coos. I'm sorry. Eating dirty coos. But, when we left that movie, it was a lot of that loud chatter. Oh my God, you see this? I ain't expect that. That was, oh wow. And so I've just compared and contrast that to the true reaction that people had to Black Panther. It wasn't that exciting chatter they left the movie, but that night, me and those folks who were in the movie on that Tuesday night, it was that loud chatter, still that excitement after they left the movie. And it is. And for those people who went back a third and fourth time to really go back and hear the messages, it's worth going back second, third, and fourth time. It's like a delicious dinner you have. And you go back for seconds, you go back for thirds. It is worth that. I loved it. I love that movie. I appreciate the writing. I appreciate how everybody looked. I appreciated the authenticity. And Ryan and Michael B. Jordan recently went to Clarksdale, Mississippi, and did a showing in a big theater. They created a big theater. I don't know. It was inside an auditorium, and all folks all around Clarksdale and all around there came in and checked out the movie. And I thought that was really cool that he did that. So I think I'd go and see it again. I think it's still playing before it gets to the streaming networks. I think it's still playing at the movies, and I would suggest to anyone, if you can catch it while it's still in the theaters, it is worth the experience to go see that movie in the theaters. It's just cool. And then at the end, I was like, you better shoot that guy. Don't let him live. And I thank you, Ryan Coogler, for hearing my thoughts out loud. Because I didn't want that son of a bitch to be there, especially after he he interrupted his delusional thoughts of him, his woman, and his little baby that both got, who both died. Their baby died, in a previous life before, in previous time when they were dating before they left with Chicago, and he reunited with that woman, and they reunited and said, "You still feel me, huh? My spirit is still on you." And all. She was like the voodoo priestess and all that kind of stuff, but. Yeah, he was on his way out because he had got shot. And I'm telling all the movie. Hell, you should have gone and seen it by now. Damn. And so he came to, and the guy was like, "Yeah, look, I got some money," whatever it was. He interrupted his final thoughts as he knew he was going on to glory to be with his woman and his baby, and they showed that. And the dude started making noise because he had a shootout with them, and dude interrupted his nice little delusional thoughts that he was having. He thought he was actually seeing his baby and his woman there, and they were in all white, and I think she was breastfeeding the baby, and he was looking forward to going to be with her. And this fool, "Hey, don't kid me. I think I got some money." And he's like, "What?" I'm like, "Shoot him. Don't let him make it." And two more things, and I'll be done. It was the Chinese that were in the movie. Too funny. I got a couple more things real quick. Too funny. The Chinese lady, I said, "Boy, you talking about Mississippi? That little daughter." He said, where your pops at?" "Daddy." I said, "God damn." Then she went across the street when he sent for her mother. "Mama, Daddy wants you." I guess they've been in Mississippi a long time. Hard voice ass little girl. "Daddy, Mama, Daddy wants you." And then the Asian wife strikes again. All the vampires out there finna kick their ass, and the husband, no, he ain't got bitten, right? And her husband. And so she got so mad, like, because they were threatening to go get her daughter, and she was like, "You know what? Fuck all that. Y'all can come on in," because in order for a vampire to come into your home, if y'all remember watching the vampire movies, ones like The Lost Boys in 1987, when the head vampire said, "You silly boy, you have to invite me in." So it reminded me of that. Telling my age, old school. And she said, "Yo, come on in." I would have been like, "Bitch, it ain't nothing but like 8 of us, and here's 150 folks out there." Because she got some man, they crashed in the door, and that's when all the nonsense, boom, boom, boom. But also, and finally, what the message that was given, and Ryan Coogler did an excellent job of just kind of getting this story out to us. Do y'all know? And it's something that happened very similar recently. If y'all remember me talking about when this white guy went into this black juke joint in Holly Springs, Mississippi. Black folks in there mind their own business. He came in there acting drunk, acting a fool, doing goofy dance, and he went to push the black dude on video, and they were yelling the N-word, and they took his ass out of the club, outside the park lot, and beat him till his pants came off his ass. Well, what Ryan Coogler did, he masterfully disguised as vampires trying to enter unwelcome a sanctuary where black folks were. And of course you had the white woman and the Asians in there, but for the most folks, it goes to it's a historical concept of whenever black folks are just minding their own business, just doing them, Europeans, white folks, they just can't help not just, hey, what's going on in there? First in Africa, you had the black folks doing their own thing, and the Arabs brought their ass over there. Then after the Arabs, the Caucasians came, and here we are today. And so when he saw that, they came and knocked on the door, boom, boom, boom. "Hey, can we come in?" They're like, "No, what y'all got going on?" "No, we got some money. We like music." And they start singing that old dang, lang, dang, 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 dong, lang, dang, dang. They start singing that shit, and there was nothing going on like that in the club. And it's like that. I said, "Ryan Coogler, you think you're so slick. I got you, brother. I heard you loud and clear." He told the story of whenever black folks trying to have their own space, here they come. Now, You made laws to keep us away from you. You can't sit here. This water fountain not for colors and niggas. No, you did all that. And then this silly group of blacks tried to force y'all to let us in places that we weren't welcome. Yeah, you call them civil rights Negroes. I'm going to talk about that in depth one of these days. And y'all going to be shocked and probably be pissed at what I have to say about that whole civil rights nonsense. But right now, yeah, man. And here we go. And so that's what they did. Under the guise of you have to be invited in, under the guise of them being vampires. That's what they did. I said, see, we can't have Jack. Can't have Jack. And they found some kind of way to get their asses in there. And isn't it something? I guess a person of color is the one that let them come in. Look at these so-called black nonprofits. Then you go look at the boards, all the white folks on the board. Just can't have nothing black. It's like we get offended when it's just us, or we get angsty. Why is it just us in here? We can't even have HBCUs. Because black folks who run these HBCUs, it's like the people say, well, it's for the money. What you need that money for, all these black folks in America? You out here recruiting white kids. You recruiting Mexicans. You recruiting others. If they want to come there, black folks that run these HBCUs or manage, because the states run them and own them, but they manage, you know that. But again, y'all know how I feel about black folks swearing they love HBCUs. Lying ass. It's the same thing. And so, yeah, somebody in the club, and wasn't nobody black, a person of color, you know, that connection we always try to have, ended up saying, y'all come on in. Oh, yeah. But anyway, that's me talking again, y'all know. For those of you who are post-racial, and everything ain't about race. Yes, it is, goddammit. But it's cool, though. Y'all gonna do you, but I know what I see. I understand what Dr. Claude Anderson was telling us about inappropriate behavior. And Brother Neely Fuller told us about racism, white supremacy. If you don't understand it, you'll know its agenda. Everything you see would only confuse you. I see it for what it is. Shout out to Brother Neely Fuller. Shout out to Dr. Frances Cress Wilson. We appreciate it. I appreciate y'all. Continue to rest in power. But yeah, that's my review of the movie. I got other stuff to say, but I babbled on long enough. I appreciate y'all. If you haven't gone to see the movie, go ahead. I think you have probably maybe about 2 more weeks, because it's done really well. Well over $300 million. I think it was a budget of $90 million, and of course it's going to kill in the streaming, and everything else is going to kill when it gets to network TV. You know how they put it on TNT and USA and all of that. It's going to kill, and I hope Ryan Coogler, he let us know that in 25 years, damn, did he sign a record contract or something? In 25 years, he'll get to own the movie flat out. So that means his children will benefit from that movie, to benefit from the revenue of all sales of everything, images, and his grandchildren. Well, yeah, probably 25 years. Maybe I have some grandkids by then, because his children, like, they're kind of young, but 25 years, I think they'll be parents. So generational. He's created generational wealth for his family. And shout out to that brother. But when I heard that, I'm like, damn. It's almost like he's an R&B singer, pop singer, or whatever. Because, you know, the record labels say in 30 years, if you live 30 years, you get to have your masters back. Isn't that something? It's a dirty game out here when you have to go through other folks to get your projects greenlit or funded. But we went to see a movie, Wakanda, but we don't understand how Wakanda is supposed to translate it to economic independence for black folks. So someone like a Ryan Coogler, even though little weenie Spike Lee don't have to go to the Weinstein Company or the Warner Brothers and all them to water down our movies in order for them to get funded. And Ice Cube wouldn't have to wait all day long to get a Last Friday out, because Ice Cube was waiting for New Line or whoever to fund the movie. I was like, damn, Ice Cube, you made plenty of money. You didn't want to invest your own money in that Friday? But that's a whole nother topic. I didn't understand that. You want these white folks to pay for a movie that you knew you had an audience for. You could have put $20 million in there. You got it, Ice. You got it. You let Tiny Lister die. You let George Witherspoon die. You let Ezell die. All these folks gone, man. You could have had that movie. And I'm sure you could have got Chris Tucker and say, look, man, this is a completely black-funded black movie. And Chris Tucker, man, come down on your salary, man. Take this $10 million, bro, and get some on the back end, because the folks are going to see it. I never heard such a thing. So I heard today, I guess the white folks going to give him some money now. But again, this is about Ryan Coogler and his success. So shout out to Ryan Coogler. Shout out to my man, Michael B. Jordan. He's risen up as relates to being one of my top 5 actors. You know, my number 1 is Howard Rollins of all time. 2, Denzel. 3, Will Smith. 4, Don Cheadle. And I'm gonna put him above Don Cheadle. Put Don Cheadle's 5, Michael B. Jordan's 4. Let's see. Yeah. So Michael B. Jordan's my 4, and Don Cheadle is 5. Yeah, I switched it up. But anyway, y'all be cool. Y'all enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'm coming back with another video. Continue to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate you. Those of you who have been subscribing on my YouTube channel, you know that Cash App is always there. $ Rico Rivers, $Rico Rivers, MSW. Enjoy your Sunday. Peace.